All right, we'll call the public safety meeting for the city of Hudson in order on March 7th, 2024, and we will do a roll call, please.
Alderperson Hall. Here. Alderperson Morset.
Here.
Alderperson Wakefield.
Here.
Thank you. Number 3, the public comments. Are there anybody here who wants to make a public comment that is not on an item that is not on the agenda tonight? I don't see any, so we'll move on from that. There's nobody, we don't do Zoom, so the approval, number 4, approval of the February 8th regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions or concerns or corrections? None? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are as written. We're gonna jump around since Lions Hometown Music Fest are here. So if you guys want to come to the podium, state your name and your address for the record. The Lions Hometown Music Fest, and what is it, the fourth year maybe?
Yeah, it's the 4th year at the park. I'm Jerry Reese from the Hudson Lions, and it's Pat Kranz. He's from the Lions also.
Hudson Lions.
He's the next president, I guess, put it that way. Anyway, this is our 4th year in the park, Lakefront Park. It's the 9th event overall. Before that, the event was held out at St. Paul's Episcopal Church on UU. And it's a general event where from noon until 11 o'clock at night on the first Saturday after Labor Day, September 7th this year. And the event will be similar to other years. We'll have the fencing up around with 2 entrances for people to come in and leave. We'll have music bands from 1 o'clock, noon to 1 o'clock up until 11 o'clock at night. And we'll have food vendors there selling food. We will be selling beer and wine like we did in the past. Everything is similar to other years. So I guess if you got any questions.
Any questions? Everything on the issue sheet seems to be the same, so, and they will finish out their applications once the approvals are given. Any questions?
Move to approve. Second.
Chiefs, any concerns?
None. It's a good event.
Good. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We'll recommend approval to full council.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. You do a great job. Hopefully it doesn't rain this year.
We'll leave that in your hands.
Yeah. All right, back up to 5A, no mow May. This was requested from council. It's pretty self-explanatory. I had one email of dissent from a constituent. I just wanted to put that on the record.
What was their concern?
They put an article, they sent me an article on why we shouldn't do it.
But it is optional.
And that it,
Yes.
Mandatory.
yeah.
Well, and I think that the resolution or the proclamation covers things such as making sure that things are
Yep.
sidewalks are passable and things like that.
I
so.
expressed that to the constituent, and I plan on voting in favor of it. I don't have an issue with it. I'm just trying to remember what she said about, I think it had something to do with a hurting the pollinator population or something. It's something
Okay,
off the internet. So, any concerns?
move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 5B, the booster days. Chief Willem, anything different?
Everything looks the same. Fireworks on Sunday, which is actually the 4th, I think, this year. No, it's the 4th and 3rd.
Thursday.
Thursday is the 4th.
Okay, so.
The
fireworks
7th.
will be on
Starts Thursday, the fireworks are on Sunday at
Yep.
night. Yeah.
Same thing. Parade Saturday,
Yep.
carnival opens Thursday, beer garden, food tents, same stuff.
Well, having a holiday on Thursday, that'll really probably boost the
Absolutely.
Might
The carnival
increase
part.
the attendance.
Yeah. Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion or concerns from chiefs?
Nothing.
No. You're fully staffed, John, dude, because I was talking to Jeff on Monday night, saying if things are gonna go this way it is already going, you guys are gonna be busy this spring and summer.
Yeah, I think, we'll just shift coverage down here as needed, because we don't have anything else going on other than the 4th in Stillwater.
Okay,
So, other than that, our schedule should be open for that time.
great. Thanks, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 5D, long awaited again. Aaron,
Yes. Okay, you got my screen up.
I should read that. Discussion possible action on the traffic calming policy for City Hudson.
Yeah. So I'm Erin McPhee Anderson, the city engineer, and I'm going to be going over the traffic safety policy updates. So that's a big change. So this policy, the traffic calming policy has kind of gone around to the Public Safety Committee. It has gone through the Public Works Committee, I think, a few times. So now I'm coming back to you guys with some updates based on everyone's comments. And also, I went to a City Engineers of Minnesota conference a few months ago, and I actually attended a session basically addressing how cities address concerns from residents for traffic safety. So I got some good ideas and some thoughts and kind of saw what a lot of other cities do. You know, obviously all these topics are very common to every city. So there was a report that the local road and research board of Minnesota did actually on like how to address this type of problem. So that's why I changed it to traffic safety policy versus just traffic calming. One of the big things is I felt like there was confusion on like when this process would be used versus like other traffic complaints. So just it being specific to traffic calming, you know, then someone said, well, what about a stop sign? We have a separate stop sign policy, you know, does that go through here? You know, crosswalks. It seemed like it just made sense that any traffic safety concerns could go through this application process. And I felt like that's probably where it would have gone eventually, and I didn't, so that's the change with the name. And then also some text in here that I've added, a little bit more about those other policies we have.
I think that's a good idea because then it's easier to track all of the requests from the
Yeah.
citizens.
Yep. So, let's see, I just wrote down a few notes for the highlights, but I can also kind of go through the process again. I did kind of take out the petition process, so there was some concerns like at Public Works that maybe some of the stuff in here was gonna be a burden to internal staff, you know, we have limited staff, and so just trying to take away kind of that extra step. And so the petition went away since that was mostly just gonna be extra work for our department. And then I will also go over, I have been working internally with our GIS staff, Nick, on some sort of GIS mapping, tracking we could do that would be public facing. So people would go to the website, be able to submit their application online, and also hopefully view what other complaints are out there. And so that's something where anyone that's interested can go to the website and see. And I will show you an example that the city of Duluth does that we already have internally with our GIS capabilities, the option to implement for the city of Hudson. So we wouldn't need to, purchase any additional software. We can just go with what we already have. So I'll go over that example as well.
With that front facing, is there an ability to post data or accident reports without, eradicated accident reports?
Yeah,
Just thought.
Yes. I'll go over it, and then I think we could discuss if you guys have things that you would want, or, you know, I can write down the notes and we can look into it. I don't know the full capabilities yet. And, you know, we've had to be in contact with like Esri, the overall manager of the application, just to, you know, because Nick's not super familiar with how to actually do it, but there's kind of a template. So there's a lot of things we can adjust, probably some things that it just doesn't have the capability to do, but maybe we could do it in a different way.
Okay, please continue.
Okay. So, the procedure here is, you know, someone submits an application, then city staff looks at the applications, we decide, you know, if the complaint is has some merit, we would collect data if needed, depending on what the complaint is. And then I just threw in here, it depends on what the complaint is, the time of year for whether we would get speed data, traffic counts. You know, if it's a really bad winter and really icy, it's probably not the best time to get general, you know, speeding data. And so there is really no specific timeline that I put in here on, you make the application, this is when you're gonna have a resolution. It's gonna depend, but obviously we'll try to do things in a timely manner. So what I put in here, again, depending on the circumstances, I put it as an optional because some temporary, you know, requests might not really be possible. So depending on the request, we might put in a temporary low-cost option and see if that minimizes the concern and go from there. And then this is where I also said, again, depending on how big the request is, we may solicit comments or even could hold a public hearing. So that's instead of the having to get a petition, just leaving it open for us to decide which route we want to go. Maybe instead we would do the opposite and send a letter and having people contact us if they're opposed to it, you know, more of a reactive approach to that. So I left that open.
Leave one door open.
And then the actual evaluation is, you know, we take the data, the engineering department, we, you know, look at engineering guidelines out there, other policies, and so something different that I have in here is called the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee. So this is something that that other cities have, and it would be more just internal staff, and this is something I was gonna, you know, discuss and get Drew and Jeff's opinion on. We would essentially make an internal committee of, you know, police, fire, public works, so it's almost like a combination of public works and public safety, meet, you know, at a time during the weekday. You know, like one example is, we meet on Wednesday at 1 p.m. You know, we come up with the recommendation, make sure it's good with public safety and public works. And then we bring all of our recommendations just to the Public Safety Committee. So we've already evaluated internally. We bring the recommendation to you guys, and then that would be the opportunity for the resident that made the request to come and speak to it. So if they have any comments or concerns, they can come here. I had originally just said we'd go to council, but then you can't make a public comment to something at the council versus here. So then I switched that to we'd come here. That would give them the opportunity to talk about it. And then you guys would make the recommendation that I would put on the common council consent agenda. And then we'd go from there. So that's the overall process. You know, everything else in here, maybe some of it's just reformatted from what you've seen before, but like the funding, the eligible applicants, that's all the same. Then I did traffic calming as a sub bullet to it. And then I also threw in, we have a separate stop and yield sign policy. I don't know how many people knew that. It's like,
We do.
yeah, it's a 4-page document or something, and in it outlines the procedure. And so it's like, well, that's not really relevant anymore if we're gonna go to this procedure. So I just threw the relevant design information into this policy. And then I do hope eventually to maybe look into a little more guidelines on like a crosswalk policy or some crosswalk guidance. There's a lot out there about when it's, you know, best practices for installing marked crosswalks. So we can have a little more information about that. So that is the policy. So I think, do you want me to pause there, or do you want me to go into like that online example?
Are there questions up to now? Let's continue,
Okay.
we'll wait till the end.
Okay, so, yeah, like I said, so this is how the city of Duluth, this is actually for more than just like traffic problems, so, but we would have a similar function, but we would just focus on traffic problems. This is a citizen reporter for kind of like any problem in the city. So it's just more the formatting, it's not necessarily the content is what I just wanted to show. So we would essentially have a link, and it would kind of jump you to this separate looking website, but it, you know, say we can customize it, City of Hudson, traffic safety, you know, it could have, and all this is a little bit like customizable. So here it says submit problem. So you can go to a map and
And this is for residents only, it will not allow anybody outside the zip code?
that is, I guess that's up to you guys. That's right now kind of what we say in the policy. Yep, so you open a map, you would essentially, sorry, I don't have my mouse, so it's a little harder to do it with just my laptop. But you can see, you can click on, zoom in and see, oh, this is what the person complained about. It shows the status. So we would do that on the back end, the status part, but then anyone in the public could see the details of the request. This is where I'm not sure if I could like comment or something with some information. Other citizens could come and like it, so you could see how many likes are on it. And then if you want to make a request, you know, you click on one of these side buttons,
Oh, my.
you say submit a problem, then you know, we can customize these. So this is where they would put in their name, phone number, email, and we could, I think, keep that hidden. You know, we could just display, and this is where maybe we'd have to add an address or something to make sure they're a resident. And then they say, you know, where there's problem is located, and then I would add the other items that we have on our application kind of through this. Then you say report it, and then we get an email and go from there. So that's overall kind of what that would feel like.
I like this.
Yeah.
But the only problem is I don't want parking to be number one complaint. This is for safety of the roads, right?
Yes,
How do you
yep.
do that?
Yep, so that's where we would, you know, there would only be a drop down for the problems you can report. Like, so when I go to submit a problem, it says type of problem. This is where we'd say speeding, crosswalk, stop sign, you know. It's not just gonna be a free-for-all, hopefully.
Right.
It looks like they're using this for any and all problems.
Yeah.
As a way of reporting things, which
Yep,
is not a bad idea, but
yeah,
I don't think we should
Not for this.
do it all right.
yeah,
Want to narrowly focus to
Yes,
traffic.
yes. Start with
Yeah.
this and then see if
Yeah.
it's worth expanding.
yeah, yep, absolutely.
I just think this is fabulous as consistent, so there's a specific, consistent format of procedures of how we're gonna address issues.
Yep.
So it's not like a knee-jerk reaction to anything. There's a very well laid out process. Thank you so much.
Well, I like this too, that if we get a complaint from a resident, we can send them a link and say, here's where you report it, and then we're not bringing this to the Public Safety Committee, it's going to your team,
Yeah.
and then you're coming with a possible solution.
Yeah. And then I know, because I feel like there was a few comments about, you know, the council wants to know kind of what's the status of things or what's going on. You know, then anyone can go to this and see what's out there.
Yeah.
And we can, you know, maybe discuss, I don't know if the Traffic Safety Advisory Committee would have a monthly meeting set up, but we cancel it if there's nothing to discuss or, something like that, but.
I will tell you, when I first read it, that was my concern, and then you, this committee that you have, but the way you explained it, I think I'm okay with.
Okay.
But at the same time, you took away to go around and get signatures because it's too much work for staff, but now you're bringing your staff in to do that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we would still have to meet
Yeah.
as a group of staff to be able to figure out, A, is there a problem? Okay, what is the problem and how can we best remedy it, right? To be able to come up with something to bring back to you guys to make a decision.
Yeah, and I don't want the perception to be that this committee or any of us on council would be hiding. We still have a job to do as representing and communicating to our constituents problems.
Yep.
And I don't want to perceive that we're going to be hiding behind a policy or an application online.
Oh, sure.
Well,
Yeah.
and this application probably can do notifications. I mean, you're gonna be able to get a notification as soon as something is submitted. Maybe it could all go out to all the Public Safety Committee meeting members so that we are aware of these reports as they come in too.
I have no doubt this has huge potential, but to keep it narrowly focused and to make sure that we have to continue to do our job. So I'm okay with the committee,
Yeah.
I'm thinking out loud and trying to see how this is gonna run
Yeah, and
along.
it's kind of formalizing what we would probably do internally anyways, which is, discuss what the best solution is. And I know, I didn't necessarily want to commit to anything, but some of the other cities, like, they'll actually just post, almost like write meeting minutes for those meetings. And I even asked, like, oh, does the public come? And they're like, it would be open to the public, but I guess no one has ever asked to come, So it's not like we, would be hiding anything.
Well, and I think it gives our citizens a voice, a way to express that maybe can't get to a meeting, or the things that they'll have a way to express their concerns. And I think it's going to streamline things in that we're not going to have the discussion here to see the impact on safety of roads for our EMS and fire, our first responders. It'll streamline things, I think, to have their input ahead of time before we come to a decision, so.
Well, and if there's an issue that's, one of us feels is really important, we could ask for you to come and just give us an update on what's going on with it too, so that we're not just,
Well, the bottom line for that is, we can do what we need to do. If you have an issue,
yeah, I can
we don't need to ask
contact her. yeah.
permission for anything.
No, I can contact her directly and ask, but
Yeah,
sometimes it's
not
good
like
to-
we're
for the
saying
public
you
to get
can't
a,
do it any other way. Yeah.
I was thinking of it in terms of giving the public an update of what's going on.
And this also has that capability to see where it's at. It
Right,
sounds like that they could
exactly.
click on that and see what the status
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, how'd you find this? Did you?
Well, Nick, our GIS, he actually had a meeting with Esri. It's kind of the host, I guess, of this, and was asking, we kind of said what we're looking for, and they said, oh, hey, well, we already kind of have a template for something like this. So that's how he found that.
Yeah, this could be a citywide type thing.
Yeah, it could be. I did, yes.
But
I
we'll,
did
we'll stay right where we're
Yeah,
at.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, we'll see how it works, yeah.
Any questions from the chiefs?
Oh, looks good to me.
Looks good.
No, I like it. I think having it come to staff first, because if it comes here, then it goes back. then
Right.
It comes back.
Well, realistically, it goes there. then it
That's what I'm
comes to me,
saying. Then it comes
Come
here.
here,
Right.
to go back to us.
We played ping pong for a while, and I think if,
Yeah.
I like this format and the fact that it
Absolutely.
comes to us and then we can vet things. It's not back and forth for 3 months. It's kind of already moving, To me, it should streamline it, really.
Yeah.
So what would be the process then for somebody who wants to report a problem who is not technologically savvy?
Yep, so I'll bring up we'll have a paper application. So I brought it up here. So we'll still have this that someone could come pick up, you know, at the front desk and hand in person, or they could, you know, email. And then I guess I haven't thought if they do submit a paper request, you know, maybe we would go in and add it to the map or something. We could probably do that. But yeah, I would still have the paper option.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it would be good to have it added to the map just for tracking purposes.
Yeah, because, yeah, the nice thing about it is even just for internal staff, we can track, you know, I think we don't need to show, you know, to infinity all the requests in a lifetime. We can just say, you know, show the requests, you know, in the last few years, but we can still have them on the back end. So just like any future staff would always have access to like what has been done.
Yeah, it's always nice to have the history available if you need it, but
Yeah,
most of the time you don't need it.
yeah, so that's what I do like about the map.
So Aaron, what are you looking for now from us in
Yeah.
regard? Do you want us to approve what you're presenting and then implement or recommend to council to implement?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the motion to recommend that we send this to council.
Second.
Great, and I really think you've done a great job at this. I know it was kind of a long haul and kind of dumped in your lap, but that's why we pay you the big bucks.
Yep. Yeah.
It's
yep.
great to see this, and we're getting close.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Aaron. And you don't need to stay if you don't want to.
Probably head out.
Number 6, informational items. Number A, 2023 Fire Department Annual Report. Boy, I'll tell you what, you got a heck of a printer.
I
You
got a heck of
outdid
a-
both of them now.
Oh, I got a great administrative assistant's what it is. Karen put that together for me, but
3D graphs and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just for information. It's our year-end summary.
Oh, we'll be changing ours.
Oh, a little competition. That's, sometimes that's good.
So, yeah, I don't know if there's any questions. It's, you know, everything we've discussed throughout the year, but pretty much simplified form. I didn't want to report with a bunch of paragraphs and stuff because after about 3 sentences, people quit reading it. So I just wanted that quick hit stuff. So,
Are there any questions from council? Is there anything you want to go through or point, highlight?
there's nothing the ordinary, just a record year, right? I mean, we're up 20%. So,
And I guess my question was, times versus last year versus, what's the trend in that because of the number of calls going up so much? You know,
what do you mean at which
the
times?
there was one part about,
Oh, time calls for during the time of day?
not time of day, there was,
Oh, the response times?
response
Oh,
times,
response
yes.
times.
I mean, there's so many factors that play into that. You know, that's the average response times, and it's for emergency calls only. So if we respond non-emergent, those aren't counted.
Okay.
You know, the city's obviously lower than everybody because all of our calls are literally within blocks of the station versus, you know, going out to the townships or up to the North Hudson, so.
But where do you feel that is in perspective to is it like previous years? Is it increasing?
Yes, it is slowly creeping up. For the fact is, one, we don't have a lot of daytime staff anymore. A lot of our public works guys are retiring, and they're not around. A lot of our guys are back in the office. You know, post-COVID, tons of people work from home, and now everybody's going back. So it's starting to creep up. Yep, for sure.
Concern? Yeah.
It's a good report, easy read.
Yes.
And
well
very
done.
pretty.
Did you have to buy more color?
No, we didn't print
Color
many
in.
of them. Email's the
Toner.
best way to send this.
That's right.
All right, if there's no questions, we'll accept that. Okay, seeing none. 7, EMS update.
Mr. Chair, could I have a guest come up and introduce himself to you guys?
For sure.
Nick, you want-
Either you can sit at or come to the podium.
So my name's Nick Barrett. I've been at Lakeview since 2008. Been a paramedic for 25 years. And then most recently into the operations supervisor position starting about 3 weeks ago. So I'm new into that role, learning the transition, but it's been good.
7 years you've been with Lakeview?
I've
7
been
years?
since 2008, so
16
16
Oh,
years.
6, oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, and I've been in EMS since 97. Long time.
How about some of the things that you do within the department?
Yeah, so, since I've started at Lakeview, I've been a field training officer. I've been a student preceptor since 2014. We implemented the SWAT team in Washington County to have paramedics on the team. I've been the team lead for Washington County SWAT tactical paramedics. I've done a lot of different things with supplies and maintenance throughout our department as well, so kind of multifaceted throughout my time.
Nice. Were you at a different facility before?
Yeah, so I
Kind
actually...
of grew up in the EMS stuff?
Yeah, right out of high school, I had done my EMT in high school, finished up and worked as an EMT for 3 years. I worked up at Lakes Region EMS in Chisago City.
Okay.
Worked there till 2007, end of 2007, I worked up there. I actually started at Lakeview in 2001, right after paramedic school. I was working full-time up in Chisago County and then part-time at Lakeview, and just kind of was too much, so left my part-time job and stayed full-time up there. At one point, 2005, I actually went back to school for architectural drafting and design, and got behind a desk, and I realized that really wasn't for me, so I did about 18 months, and I really missed being a paramedic, and that's when I came back to Lakeview, so.
Very nice. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Anything else you want to add?
my backup if I'm not available, and someone you can always reach out to too if you can't get a hold of me, so.
Yeah.
Great.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, I plan to be pretty visible, trying to stay out in the field as much as I can. I will office both out of Stillwater and Hudson, so I'm kind of sharing my time. I have an office set up at our base in Hudson, so I
Great.
plan to be out here. I was on 3 different calls in Hudson yesterday, so it's nice to get out and move around, and I do like finally being behind a desk a little bit, but I still got to get out a little bit, so
Great.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to introduce Nick.
Absolutely.
Just my report's going to be very brief. Just for the month of February, we had 139 calls in the city of Hudson compared to 129 last year. Lights and siren response of that 139 was 89 calls were lights and siren response. 50 of those were not. Our average response time was 4 minutes and 7 seconds, and then our 90th percentile, we were at 7 minutes and 8 seconds. On the graph to the left there, you see a increase in our volumes. It's interesting because on our Minnesota side of things, our volumes have flattened out, even have gone down a little bit, but we're seeing an increase in volumes over here in the last 6 months. So it's just slowly been creeping up over here.
What do you attribute?
I don't know. I honestly, it's hard to tell what that is. If it's just more population, more elderly, I don't know what it is.
Well, our population is getting on in age, the more experienced people, but different from COVID, or how far back are you thinking these numbers, just since when you took over?
Well, yeah, since 2019, when we took over, we've just steadily seen an increase. I don't think there's been a decrease. You know, we'll have 1 month where we're down, but then it averages out the next month or even goes above that.
Well,
But, you know, that's a pretty steep incline, just, you know, you look at from September, and then
Yeah.
it starts staying pretty flat.
Well, I do know our population increased by well, we're at 15.4, was it? Now, just the city alone, so.
So
We're getting
it-
bigger.
It kind of mimics the fire department's volumes, you know, you see their volumes going up, and so it just matches them, and PD as well. So. That's all I got, unless you guys have anything,
Full
any
staff?
questions, or?
Full staff?
Right now, we're not, because we have to fill Nick's position. So that posted a week and a half ago, I think. And then we had one other resignation. Someone moved on to be a supervisor, take a supervisor position, so it was a promotion, and so we got 2 positions open right now.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
How's your recruiting for paramedics? Has it gotten better?
I'm sorry?
Your recruiting for paramedics has
Well,
gotten
you know,
better?
last year was terrible, and then when we changed our staffing model, we went away from the 1.2 FTE and we went to a 40-hour work week. We brought the pay way up. That helped. I mean, we saw almost an instant turnaround in applications by doing that.
Okay.
So it was, there was proof there that it needed to be done. But now, you know, we talked to all the other leaders in the EMS industry in the metro, and they're all seeing the same thing. There's just no applicants. So we know there's students, in April, I think they start riding again. Yeah. So, so yeah, we do a lot of precepting with all the schools, and that's where we pick up a lot of our people. You know, they come there, they get to ride along with all the services, and then when they get to us, we hope they say, oh, I want to work here. So it works.
Yeah, good. Keep on it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good question, Jeff. Fire department, police department EMS update.
Police, fire,
He's doing it all.
No real updates, other than we closed on our new facility last Friday. Thank you again for that. It's very exciting.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
All the staff is chomping at the bit for me to take them up there and take a look at, you know, and they're just wide-eyed when they walk in there. I mean, that building is so big, and it doesn't look like it from the road at all.
No.
So we're excited to get construction management on board and get some architects on board and get grooving in there. Other than that, we attached the CFS report, call for service report from February. Any questions about that? Just like everybody else, right? We're not getting any slower.
No.
We are anticipating warmer weather, right? Earlier in the season than we're used to. We're anticipating it to be a busy spring and summer season, so we're full staffed. So we'll be here. We'll be here.
Very good. Fire chief, do you need to go through 7A? Or is that just?
No, it's just informational, monthly information reports from the previous month. I just do have one item that you'll be seeing, probably not until April, come through council, but I won't belabor you with all the details, but at our CIP over the 4 years, starting in '23, we were stepping in radio replacement. We did some field testing with Baycom, came in and we did some field testing with our current portable radios. And we found that the model we're using right now that we're replacing, the batteries are starting to fail on them. So the batteries are bought between 2015 and 2017, so they're actually way past their lifespan. In investigating that, I found that the batteries that they had bought back then were lithium ion, but the chargers were not compatible, so they basically fried the batteries.
Oh, lovely.
So as a stopgap to try to bridge till we started getting the replacement stepped in, the vendors looked at getting replacement batteries. The model radio was no longer supported, or replacement batteries are made for it.
Of course.
So I met with Administrator Johnson today, explained the issue, and we're gonna work through trying to find the funding, but I'm gonna ask to accelerate the replacement, sooner, get them all replaced. And then, the partners, the fire partners, their portion will get caught up. It'll just take till 2025 or 26 to kick in. The city will front it, and then they'll get their money back as
Didn't
we
we just buy
progress.
you new radios?
Computers,
No, a couple months back.
no.
It was ours. It was the
Oh.
second, it was the second year of that 23-24 bond issue. But I'm asking that we move the 25 and
I
26
see.
up to complete the project because it's a dangerous situation.
Oh, absolutely.
We're finding that they're not working. So just to make you aware, it'll be coming, and I'll have a complete issue sheet listing exactly what the problem is and everything, but just so you know, so.
Okay,
And
thank
then
you.
We'll be looking at, I got approval from the city, from Mr. Johnson and the Police and Fire Commission to start a hiring process. I got some anticipated retirements this year coming up, and I have one resignation last month due to a job change. So I'm gonna look to hire 6 if I can find candidates, which will be the problem. So I'm looking to start the application process in April. Hopefully to have them hired by June so they can start school in August,
Okay,
so.
good. You know, maybe the Public Safety Committee should be a part of our job is to be a firefighter.
Thanks.
We'll take you.
Yep, there you go, Lynn, there we go. All righty, any other communications from the chiefs? Any items for future agenda? None?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody.